Hello folks and welcome back to Medieval Total War. I am Conistip and this is going to be part 10 of my early campaign where I'm playing as England. And after the last episode I feel slightly better with my situation. The fact that I do have 2 sons that are currently on the way does make me feel a little bit more certain. And the fact that if there were to be a civil war, I know whose side I would stand. I would stand on my own current king's side, that is. With the hopes that maybe his sons will be better men than he is. Now, to make that happen, though, it's pretty important to try to raise his influence still. It's not just a fact that influence has to do with the loyalty of your generals, but influence also does affect the stats of your heirs as they come of age. The influence of the king as they come of age, that is not when they're born, but when they come of age, the influence of your king is going to influence their stats and make them, determine how good they are. So trying to continue to get his influence up is going to be important. And if we are to believe what we've sort of seen in that last episode, which is where I got 1 point of influence after taking 3 provinces, I would imagine that if I were to take, so I'm assuming it's 1 influence for every 2 based off of that. So if I were to take one more point of one more province, I should get 1 more point of influence. I keep looking here at Livonia. I don't know, Livonia, the fact that they have these Lithuanian cavalry, and they're probably decent. I'm not completely certain in that, but the fact that I can't even train my own heavy cav yet. Of course, I do have my royal knights that accompany my bodyguard, my family members, but I can't train. I'm not training feudal knights yet. I'm not even training royal knights yet. And these are 40-man units of, I didn't look up their stats. I can't remember, but I think they are sort of like a medium cav, heavier than light cav. But I'm not sure exactly how they stack up against feudal cavalry. But I think they are decent. That's what I'm trying to say. And they have crossbows as well. I don't know how they're doing that. No one can train crossbows until the year 1204. And here they are, just as rebels here in Livonia. That's interesting. Yeah, and then there's a few more units here as well. So 6 units in total. Like, it's not... Oh, no, 7 units in total. And I've used up all of my available mercenaries, basically, on all of those attempts to take Norway and Ireland and Navarre. And even though I don't intend to hold these provinces, and for those of you who maybe new to the channel, or maybe you're wondering like why I don't want to do that, it's because now I have another province to defend. Here in Aquitaine, I'm only leaving it this lightly defended because I am allied with the Aragonese and the Italians, but you don't want to leave a target that tempting open for that long. Navarre is 2 turns away from having a fort finished, and when that is finished, I'm just going to be leaving this with a bare bones garrison of like a peasant unit, basically, and then going back to making sure that Aquitaine stays like it's going to be okay. Because Aquitaine is building boats. It's one of my only 2 provinces that is currently building boats, and I need that to continue. That's my priority right now. So up here in Norway and Ireland, now I'm going to hold on to Ireland, of course, but Norway, I don't intend to hold this. Again, it's another province that I'm just taking it for prestige, for influence for my king. That's the only reason. Again, I don't want to have another garrison hold up here. So this this little mercenary army that I have, along with the mercenary army in Ireland and the little mercenary remnants here in Aquitaine, these guys, if they can, like, maybe they can form together and take Livonia at some point. However, the forces on Ireland, which is my strongest mercenary forces, they're going to be stuck in Ireland until I get a port situated up here. Because, yeah, I can't move them off of Ireland. In fact, maybe what I do, instead of building watchtowers, I wanted that for the loyalty. I am over 100%, so that's, I'm okay. So I don't need a fort to build a port. Okay. Well, let's just build a port then. Let's get myself into a position where I can get these guys off of this island as fast as possible. And also I was looking at who I want to give the governorship of Ireland, It has a command star and a pip of loyalty. So I was looking at, I think I was looking at you, Sir Walter Talbot. And yeah, you're one of my like initial commanders. You used to be, yeah, I think the original commander died, but he was the brother of my old king, I think. But yeah, the fact that he has only 11 men in his unit of bodyguards, he was the one that assisted in that first battle against the French, I believe. He's a good commander, yeah. 5 stars, so we can bring him up to a 6-star. He has 3 acumen, which is lower than my preferred amount of 4, but the fact that he has like steward, and this is all coming from the governors that he's had underneath him. He's basically been stealing their traits. So he has steward, which is 10% to agricultural production and 10% or plus 10 to happiness. Charitables plus 10 to happiness. Magnificent builder is plus 10 to happiness and plus 2 to loyalty. So he has a lot of stuff that's going to be helping happiness and agricultural production. So even though Ireland doesn't have the biggest agricultural production, you say it's like making 94 with low taxes, but still, I think that right now we just want his dread and his happiness bonuses just to make sure that Ireland stays okay. And he gets a command star, of course. So he is now the Lord of Ireland. So how are we sitting now? 146, just like that. That's a big boost. 40% boost. We can even raise taxes a little bit. Yeah, why not? Perfect. So in 4 turns, we can get that port built up there, and we don't have to worry about building watchtowers and border forts just yet, just because we don't need that population boost anymore from that. So in 4 turns, we can get these guys off of Ireland, and we can think about attacking Livonia, if that's what we want to do. And that makes me think, is that what I want to do? Should I start building a port in Norway right away? Is that what I want to do? Kind of, yeah. Build a port. Even if, and because I don't intend on holding Norway, but like if the Danes were to take it at some point, that would just mean that I've built a port for them. So then I can trade with their, their port. I would have to get that ceasefire with them if they end up starting a war with me by taking Norway, but that can be done because we don't border each other on land. So I can just move my boats out of their, the regions that border their sea region or their territories, and we should be fine. But yeah, I have a crusade marker, but I can't use it, unfortunately, because I have a crusade currently in the works. Can only use 1 at a time. I was thinking too, yeah, like I was like, oh, sweet, I can send a crusade, and like, oh yeah, no, that's not how that works. You can only use 1 crusade at a time. That's too bad, because that would have been a nice, easy boost to my king's influence, right? Yeah, that's another thing that's really nice about the Muslim jihad, is that you can just, boost that influence for your leader just like that. You can just spam jihads to get your influence up. Which must be nice, yeah. Let's see, I don't really have a purpose for you, Princess Mary. I checked before this episode started recording here, and all of my neighbors, all of my allies are married, all of them. The only ones I haven't talked to are the Italians, but I can't find an emissary or a king. I mean, she can look. She can see if she can find someone, I guess. She has 3 years left. May as well check it out. Let's see here. So on this side, I was given a really neat idea by one of my viewers, which is that maybe what I could do is bribe some Egyptian stacks to potentially take over a province, and maybe using an inn, I can hire mercenaries that would allow me to like get to Antioch with my crusade. Now, unfortunately, the only province that I have eyes on that has an inn is in Anatolia, and it's very heavily defended. Now, the Byzantines maybe want to attack this, but there's like basically 4 stacks there, and I think that the price of the generals has to do somewhat with either the command or the loyalty. Maybe both. But I don't think that I would be able to afford this 6-star general here. This is a smaller stack. This has a 4-star. This is an heir, so I can't bribe heirs. Now this guy looks a bit more affordable. 2 loyalty, 1 star. The stack itself is not that good, but there is a full strength unit of Armenian heavy cav, And I wouldn't mind, like, that seems like it's worth the cost just to get that off of, like, away from the Egyptians, because that is a good unit. And this is another option. As Geostar General, plenty of loyalty. The stack itself has nothing in it that's like super useful, so it might be affordable for that reason as well. So it's tempting to try to bribe something off of the Egyptians here in Anatolia to make the Byzantines want to take it. But then I wouldn't be able to use the inn because it belonged to the Byzantines. So this would work better if I was able to get like a province all to myself that had an inn in it. And yeah, there's nothing here in Antioch. Now, here's the thing that I was thinking. If I were to bribe the stack in Antioch and then I just take Antioch, then that makes the crusade. Does that make the crusade automatically fail, or does that just make the crusade like go null and void? So what I'm asking is there a penalty for that? Do I lose influence for that? Or does that just say, oh, nope, it didn't work out? Sort of like how in Rome Total War, where the Senate missions, if you fail a Senate mission, not because, you failed, but just because like the target itself became unattainable. For instance, like if one of the other Roman factions took that target before you were able to get to it, it's my understanding that there's no like penalty from the Senate. They don't like lose a favor for you. They just kind of go, oh, no, let's move on to the next mission. And is it kind of like that for Crusades in this game, or does that just count as a failure if someone else takes that? Like if another Catholic faction were to take a province before your Crusade got there, does that count as a failure or not? I don't know. I don't know. Because if it doesn't, it would be tempting to bribe these guys here and take Antioch, make the Crusade null and void just so that I don't lose this influence, and then start over again with another Crusade. Maybe just being launched towards Livonia to boost my own influence. That's tempting, but I don't know if that's how that works. And it's a risk. It's definitely a risk. Ooh, they have an inn here. Yeah, I have to remind myself that the inn buildings look differently for the Muslim and Christian factions. So like here, the inn looks like this. And here, it looks like this. So in Edessa, that looks like an option. That looks like a cheap army. And it's right next to Antioch. So if I could bribe this and then hire mercenaries, ooh, that could be good. And there's no inn here in Trebizond, and this is a high-ranking general, so it's probably going to be an expensive army. I can get more. Let's get some more visibility. Let's find out what's in Lesser Armenia, and then let's continue to. Now that this Crusade marker is finished being built, let's start to train more bishops, because I want more visibility. In fact, it's tempting. Gosh, it's tempting to bring you over, even though you only have 3 more years left. That's 3 years that could be useful. Yeah, let's use the remaining 3 years of your professional career, Princess Mary. Yeah, she spent most of her life out here anyway, so she knows what she's doing. Yeah, get some visibility. Rum and Armenia are probably the 2 places. Syria, yeah, actually, it's another option. Should I bring her down to Palestine so I can take a look at Palestine and Tripoli? Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, so basically what we're doing is we're not completely giving up on this, which is an insane thing. Like I love that I was given this idea. I'm really grateful to that, because that was it's really neat. It's a really neat thing, and quite frankly, I do need to be reminded often about bribing people. That's something that I've never done a whole lot of in all of the games, in all of the Total War games that I've played, going back to Shogun. I did play like an entire Shogun campaign that was kind of centered around bribing and having these like bribed army enclaves in certain places around the map that were all used to be rebel armies. And I thought that was very fun. But unless I'm going like really role play heavy, like it's really hard for me to like remember to do that. You know, like bribing whales in this campaign was like a no-brainer for the early game. But yeah, there's just, I don't know, it's just not something that really comes to mind very often. So I need to be reminded of it. So yes, very, very appreciative of that reminder. Also, my emissary is still in the progress of trying to find this Byzantine emperor. He's been looking for him for a while now, so maybe I can catch up to him. I'm still trying to get that alliance with the Byzantines so that next time we have to, you know, fight together, we can actually fight together and not just have a weird little Mexican standoff where we end up just hurting each other needlessly. So if we can get ourselves an alliance here, that'd be nice. And then my emissary can go to work looking at bribing targets. I maybe should be hiring another emissary at this point, but one of the only provinces, well, Wessex is the only province where I can currently hire emissaries or train emissaries, and it's one of my only provinces that's building boats, and I think I want the boats more. To be able to get more emissaries, I think I would have to build, what building is it? It's going to be the Royal Palace, 2 years, 1,000 florins. So, yeah. That's not something that I'm going to be building right now. I'm going to be focusing on getting those shipwrights built up so that I can get more boats going. But for now, I think I'm ready to just end this turn. And the Byzantines went for Trebizond. Interesting. So they are going to be retreating from Trebizond. The King of France has died from an illness. And I got my ballista towers finished up here in Aquitaine, and merchant finished in Wessex. Nice. More money coming from that. Shipwright in Wales, shipwright in Northumbria, some more ballista towers, shipwright, ballista towers. Yes, awesome. The Almohads want an alliance. No, sorry, but I'd rather be allies with Spain. Yep, that is more important to me. What do we got here? So King Richard, builder, plus in happiness. That's good, but I could use some influence. So we have to keep building. No, that's just going to increase loyalty. Yeah, that's not going to increase influence, unfortunately. Lord Hastings, happiness and loyalty, or yep, great builder. Yep, happiness and loyalty, great builder. Perkin Percy, you're not a lord or a general, so it doesn't really matter. And Sir Stephen Plantagenet, believer, +1 piety. Oh, he got the blackmailer. Yeah, and he's been a secret blackmailer for a while now, and he was being hidden from it because yeah, that was never going to proc as long as he was underneath this 6-star general, which I just was given the governor. I just gave him the governorship, and then I forgot him to put him back into the stack. So now he got that blackmailer. He's going to be down to like 3 or 4 now, I think. I did check this. 3. Yeah, that's a little rough. That's a little rough. Oh, that's a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, when it was like this, he would have never gotten that stack because he was never, or he would have never gotten that trait because he would have never been revealed. Yeah, that was it's one of those like minor mistakes that could have like, it could end up going bad because he has royal blood, you know? Like, that's not good. That's not good. Yeah, I got to keep this guy in control of this stack. Oh, word. I just saw the Egyptians going for a massive push on Constantinople, and the Byzantines are going to retreat. Okay. Wow. All right. Yeah, that's rough for them, but the Byzantines have taken Trebizond, so I'm okay with this. Pushing east is okay for me. Oh, this is not what I wanted. Ay. Is there anywhere to retreat to? This is unfortunate. I was hoping I could sort of follow the Byzantine army. And the fact that I have 310 guys versus their 834. That's very rough. But a lot of it, see, this is that 1-star general that I was looking at. I think this might be the guy that's looking at maybe wanting to bribe. And if this is the case, then his army is very weak. It's just that unit of Armenian heavy cav that's going to be tough. And do I have any way of defeating them? Like if I can just beat that one unit. Gosh, these units are so, there's like just, 5 men, 2 men, 1 man, 1 man, 3 man. That's so tough. I don't know, do I have anywhere to retreat to, though? Like if I choose abandon the province, Will I retreat to Trebizond now that the Byzantines have it? Yeah, I don't know how this works. Let's find out. Because I want to know how this works. Looks like I ended up in Trebizond. Hey, okay, that's interesting. That's very interesting. Okay, so the Egyptians are the strongest military might. Okay, and the fort was finished here in Navarre. And yeah, I was building a lot of stuff. I put in a lot of merchant buildings and economic upgrades. So, zealous preacher. So Bernard of Clairvaux, the Cistercian abbot, has called for a crusade against the Saracens. His oratory and clear thought has also improved his ruler's piety. His emphasis on the Virgin Mary also has appealed to many in Champagne. Yeah, that last part, I don't know, is emphasis on the Virgin Mary also has appealed to many in... What does that mean? Does that mean... Does that mean that... That's raising Catholicism or zeal or the piety of that province's governor? Has an appeal to many of Champagne. I don't know. It's so vague, isn't it? Perkin Percy, you are a zealot and you have weak principles. Oh, that's interesting. Lord Plantagenet, true zealot, plus 30% zeal when governing. Awesome. And Sir Henry Pole, -1 valor. That's too bad. I just want to see, like, is there anything I can tell from this? Zeal 100%. That might be what that is. So that Bernard of Clairvaux message may have raised the zeal. Because there's no inquisitors around. So like 100 zeal with 0 inquisitors seems like a, pretty far-fetched thing. Yeah, that might be what that was. That's the only thing I'm seeing. Catholicism, of course, is going to be high. Although there is 1% heretical cults. That's interesting. Okay. It's worth keeping an eye on. And so this is how this works. Okay, that's very, very good news. That's... okay, so as long as we get a notification first that the Byzantines have taken someplace, then as long as we are bordering that province, we can abandon the fight and then follow the Byzantine army. Oh, that's really cool. Okay, so that's... that was... I feel like I got lucky there. But my gosh darn emissary hasn't been able to find... Where did he go? Is he here? Where did he... Yeah, so okay, he's in Bulgaria now. God, that's so annoying. Alright, so this emissary has to keep trying to find that Byzantine emperor. Well, if we can at least stay here and get rid of these forces here in Trebizond, that would be nice. It looks like the Byzantines gave up Constantinople completely, so there's no garrison at all inside of Constantinople. Man, that's a good settlement this early in the game. Like, there's a lot of nice buildings built up there, so that's a good take for the Egyptians. Man, my crusade was supposed to save the Byzantines, and it ended up like... like, if they hadn't attacked me, it would have worked. It would have been fine. You know? God dang. It's like... I was trying to help them, you know? I was like, God, look at what's happening right now. Oh, anyway. Alright, well, I have boats being built, and if the Byzantines can hang on, I can get to Antioch and start causing trouble for the Egyptians, but the Byzantines are going to have to hang on here. While the Byzantines did decide to go back to Constantinople and try to, reclaim their their central city here, let's see, the Byzantines made a staff for Anatolia. Okay, that was a strange move. And yes, Princess Mary has retired. Watchtower finished here in Navarre. Castle finished here in Murcia. So yes, now I can start building the monastery, is it? So that I can start training inquisitors, I believe. And shipwright just finished here in Flanders. Wonderful. King Richard I, great builder, +1 loyalty to all generals and +10 happiness. Okay, so that's good, but still, that's not going to increase his influence. Nope, it still has 3 influence. Yeah, pretty treacherous. So yeah, that was strange. So we do have this 1 Giga Chad general here of, however many stars that is. And man, look at that acumen too. Jeez, oh Pete's. Yeah, that's a lot. And we are attritioning down this garrison. There was no counter push, which is interesting. But I guess that was the Byzantines pushing out from Constantinople. This emissary cannot, please, he's right there. Please talk to him. Jesus, it's been way too long. You've taken like a decade to talk to the Byzantine emperor. Please, 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 please. I want you to start, looking at Egyptian armies you can bribe. So just get this job done. Okay, come on. And in the meantime, there are potential targets, for places that I could bribe. Ooh, Armenia is very lightly held. There is no inn here, though, unfortunately. Edessa looks promising, though. This looks like a pretty cheap army to bribe. And I think, what else was I looking? Anatolia, yeah, they also have the inn. Armenia as well. Yeah, actually, since there's barely anything holding this, even though he's a 6-star general, he might be affordable just because it's just him and a unit of desert archers. And then there's an inn there as well. Yeah, there are some opportunities. If these Byzantine armies want to push out from Constantinople, what do we know? What do they have? Byzantine infantry, cataphracts. It's the cataphracts that are the real doozies. At this stage of the campaign, they're the ones that are very devastating. Especially in the auto-resolve. Yeah, their troops are pretty light, but the fact that, their Trebizond archers, also, because they have good melee stats, are going to be more impactful in the auto-resolve against, all of the Egyptian forces. They're light, they're peasants, they're naphtha throwers, they're archers. Trebizonds can be desert archers in auto-resolve as well. They can probably perform decently against urban militia. Decently, that is, maybe not win, but yeah, I think the Byzantine armies do pretty well in the auto-resolve. Now the Egyptians have come in and invaded Trebizond, and I still have not gotten my alliance with the Byzantines. So this is going to be another test of basically this idea that perhaps I should just hide in the corner if I can find a corner to hide in. I have 288 men left in this crusade, so really not an effective fighting force at all. My Byzantine allies do have 1,000 men. The Egyptians are bringing in 1,300, which is it's a bit more. And this initial wave seems like it's competent. They have a 4-star Sultan, 2 units of Armenian heavy cav, and then 4 urban militia, some camels, some Muwahid foot soldiers, which is a good spear unit, a good offensive spear unit. Nubian spears, which is a good defensive spear unit. And then the Saharan cavalry, which is decent light cav. Naphtha throwers, which isn't gonna... I mean, they can be effective. They throw grenades. It's pretty scary. And we don't know... Can we see the Byzantine army? Yeah, we can. Oh, cool. Okay. And what are they bringing? So they have their 5-star cataphract general. He's going to be very effective. Their 100-man Byzantine infantry, good heavy infantry unit. A lot of archers. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4... basic archers, and then 4 Trebizond archers. Okay, that's a lot of firepower. That can do a lot of damage. Some beat up horse archers. Well, they're not that beat up. They're only 35 men. The Slav warriors, despite the fact that they're holding spears in the pictures there, they don't count as having spears, which is too bad. They're basically just like swordsmen. So it's a pretty crappy unit. They're basically barely better than peasants, which is too bad because they look kind of awesome. They look like they should be better. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah. What else do they have? Yeah, the reinforcements ain't much. So what about the Egyptians? So luckily it's mostly peasants, but there is this 20-man Ghulam bodyguard unit, which is going to be one of his heirs. That's going to be the main issue. Also, camels. Like, camels are tough. You know, they can really hit above their weight against cavalry. So, like, these Armenian heavy cav and the camels and the Gulan bodyguards, like, all together, they can do pretty well against the, like, you know, the one cataphect general. So, these archers are going to have to really carry their weight. Gosh, this is tricky because I should help out, but, like, I don't know what I can do. And more than that, I don't know, you know, are the Byzantines just going to, like, turn on me and fight me? You know, like, I don't know if there's anything I could do here. If I could just concentrate all of my forces on killing the Sultan and trying to cause a morale break, like, that's one thing, if that was an opportunity. But yeah, this is going to be interesting. We'll see what happens here. Well, unfortunately, this is a pretty wide open map. There are some forests, but they're not really, like, in my deployment zone. Like, this is just on the, like, I could kind of get in right here, but it's kind of a forward position, so I don't really want to be inside of that forest. If I wanted to stay back as far as I can, then maybe just kind of tucking in on this little strip is going to be enough to kind of stay hidden. It's kind of haggard, but, like, that's it for my deployment zone, you know? Other than that, it might be going up here, but again, I'm just going to be, like, I won't even be able to fit inside of the forest up here, so yeah, that's going to be pretty haggard. I wonder where the Byzantines are going to be setting up. Now I have my meager little forest just tucked into this forest here, just trying to hide as best as I can. Now I know that my generals, they can't be concealed. That's just the way that it is in these games, at least in Shogun and Medieval. I don't know if that continues that way. But yeah, generals can't hide. So, like, this guy is one-man Teutonic Sergeant. He's just going to be, like, hanging out behind this building here. If anything, maybe he can kind of draw them into a little ambush amongst these buildings here with my army. But, like, yeah, I don't really have high hopes. But let's begin this battle. And where are the Byzantines? So yeah, this is what I saw in that when I was editing that last battle. When I saw this, was that. You know, they have that red font, or that kind of that orange rust-colored font, which indicates, it says right there that they're enemy, you know, in parentheses. So it's not like they betrayed me, like, based on their will. It's just that these battles set it up so that we're enemies just from the outset. And, yeah. So I'm assuming that I should have had to just withdraw my forces after defeating the Egyptians, and maybe we would have been okay. I'm assuming, but yeah, I guess we're just gonna, like, watch this battle and root for the Byzantines because, oh yeah, this could be the end of the crusade, right here. If the Byzantines lose this battle, things are gonna get pretty dire. I'm actually really tempted to bring up my general's unit just so that I can get a better view of this. But in that last battle, when I, you know, was trying to help out and stay mostly out of the fight just by, like, skirmishing on the rear of the Egyptian army, and then the entire Egyptian army turned around and attacked me, and I was like, what? That's not what I was supposed to try, what I was trying to do there. So, yeah, I'm just gonna, like, hang out back here. I'm just gonna hang out as, you know, as far away as possible and root for the purple team. Can't tell who's winning from here, but, yeah, we have some Byzantine horse archers on the flanks, shooting into the flanking Egyptian army. It looks like the Egyptians are sending some Saharan Cav to fight them. But the Saharan Cav have gone back to the melee. And yeah, the Byzantine, like, front line is going to be pretty light. But what do we have? Slav warriors versus 6 Armenian heavy Cavs. Looks like the Armenian heavy Cav are getting taken out by all the archers, I'm assuming. That could be very good. Yeah, 11 Bedouin camels, and there's still 82 Byzantine infantry left, so, like, they're hanging in there very well. I think the Byzantines are cutting through the Egyptians. Yeah, the Egyptians are running away. Wow. Yeah, I think all of that archer firepower is really helping cut through all of those Egyptian, like, heavy units that they had. Yeah, the Nubian spears, the Saharan Cav. Yeah, the Egyptian army's en route. I don't know what's happening to their Sultan, though. I have no... Looks like he's still there. I think the Sultan is still fighting the Byzantine cataphracts, I think. Okay, so still not over. The Egyptians do have some decent units in reserve in the form of those Gulam bodyguards and a handful of camel units, but like, gosh, I don't know. Like, based on how decisive this was, I think the Byzantines might pull this off.
Foolish villain to the end.
Wonderful. Okay, so the Egyptian Sultan has been killed. Okay. So that's going to be it. I think that what I should do from here is just step away and just withdraw my forces. Let's just get out of here. And hopefully this works out so that we still, you know, at the conclusion of this battle, we can still hang out with, like, we're not, you know, at war with the Byzantines, you know, as it was in the last time. I'm really hoping this works. Okay, so I lost 0 men in that. It kind of bugged out where some of my units were kind of stuck at the edge of the battle map, so I ended up just escaping out of the battle, so, or exiting out of the battle, so that ended up working out okay. Now, let's go into, so the Egyptians are the richest. And yes, the Egyptian Sultan has been killed in battle. His heir has taken over. Yes, border fort. Okay. Yep. Fine. I'm really more interested in something else right now. Lord Hastings minus 50% to bribery cost. Sure. Okay. Let's fucking back here. All right. So yes, we're fine. We're not at war with the Byzantines. Hallelujah. Okay. And that's essentially. It didn't show me the statistics for the Egyptians, but that was roughly, I would say, like 1,000 Egyptians that were killed and or captured in that battle. So good. Good. I have 287 men left in this crusade as well. If I could get this, I'm still having, where's my guy? Where's my emissary? Man, you are failing at your job right now. Like, golly, come on. Oh, this emissary still has not talked to the Byzantine Emperor. Jeez, oh Pete, come on, dude. I could be bribing Egyptians left and right by now. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty poor right now. I'm spending a lot of money on my economic infrastructure, so there is that, but still, you know, come on. Holy smokes, we're back at it again. The Egyptians are going for Trebizond yet again. The Byzantines do have some more forces this time, and they have 1,200 as opposed to like the 1,100 or 1,000 they had before. But the Egyptians are bringing in 3,700 guys. Now, they are just being led by a 1-star general. This is Amir as-Salah, and he is in a 1-man unit of Gulam bodyguards. So he is going to be very, very killable. However, there's going to be 3 units of a medium heavy cav. That's going to be tough. But the rest of the army, like at least in the first wave, is not that frightening. The 3 urban militia, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 archers, and the 2 desert archers, and the Nubians. I'm mostly worried about those 3 Armenian heavy cav units. But the Byzantines did so well in that last battle that I'm hopeful. And as far as the reinforcements go, let's see here. The second wave, mostly peasants. The units that are not peasants are like beat up units, so not worried about that. Let's see, third wave. I'm not seeing anything threatening here. Yeah, I'm not seeing any full strength heavy cav units or. Yeah. I think the Byzantines could do well here. You know, if they take care of this first wave, you know, killing that 1-man, it's just 1-man Gulam bodyguard unit. So like, you know, maybe kill him. He does have 6 valor, so he might be tough to kill. Then the Byzantines, they have their 5-star emperor is leading the battle again. So yeah, this is the same force. So they're a little bit beat up. I just think that they got some reinforcements though. What do they get? Okay, I don't know about that. I don't know if they got much in the way of reinforcements. Maybe more archers? Did they maybe got more archers? Man, they have like no melee presence. Some spearmen, yeah, some basic spearmen, some Slav warriors, some urban militia, some more Slav warriors. But yeah, I mean, 76 Byzantine infantry with 5 valor and a defensive upgrade, like that's not bad. Yeah, that's not bad. Well, let's do the same thing and hopefully it works out again. Oh dear, this is a very exciting way to play. I wasn't expecting this campaign to go in this direction, but here we are. Well, the good news is that I was able to fit my entire army inside of this forest that's off to the side of the map. The bad news is it's the side of the map and it's not the back of the map. So yeah, it depends on where the other armies set up. My dude, he's just going to be hanging out here. I don't know. Again, I know that like you can't conceal generals off of like forests and stuff, but like I don't know about line of sight. So maybe having them behind, that's what I was kind of thinking in that last battle too, like with having them behind a building. Like, I don't know if like you can still hide generals due to line of sight. I don't know. I just know that they don't like, you know, turn invisible inside of a forest. I know that that's not how that works. Maybe they are invisible from line of sight, but you can still see them on the mini map, like for the AI. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway. Okay, so nothing's on our side of the map. Perfect. Good. Okay. The Byzantines are there. They're on a hill. They're the defenders. So, like, that should be good. And, yes, if the Egyptians want to march up that hill and... No. What are you guys doing? Nope, that's a really good spot. That's a really good spot, guys. Okay. I don't know what they're doing, but I hope they know what they're doing. Unfortunately, it looks like the Egyptian general is just heading off over to the opposite corner of the map, so it looks like he knows better than to get involved in this fight here. Huh, that's too bad. I was kind of hoping that he would get himself killed immediately. The Byzantines have just redeployed to a higher position on the hill, which I'm not completely against, but what's the point of that? Because you just abandoned your catapult crew to die. You know, like, you could have deployed up there at the beginning of the battle, right? I just hit my dude over here. Yeah, he can't really hide, but he's trying his best. I felt a little bit too exposed having him out here. It is a tough thing to go up this much hill when faced up against that many archers, although I am wary of the Byzantines' lack of melee capabilities. Still, that's a lot of firepower, and that's a lot of ground to be covered by the Egyptian forces. Let's see, 26 Egyptian urban militia fighting up against archers. Okay, yeah, it's not the call that I would have made, especially considering that they have spearmen here in reserve. What in the gosh darn? You guys are sending archers, stay back and shoot. Let the spearmen go forward. Why? You're sending archers into melee combat against Nubian spears? When you have the Slavs back, I don't understand. Why are you guys doing this? Guys, this is very important. The success of this crusade, this mighty crusade. The success of this... I should go assassinate that Egyptian general. Because he's, like, hiding in a forest somewhere. And I should just send... Do I have anyone that can kill him? Probably not. He has 6 valor. Yeah, and I have, like, just a bunch of crappy horse archers and some, Zekles. I can't remember how to pronounce that. Yeah, but, yeah, there's, let's see, 20 Armenian heavy calf, so they're getting whittled down. The cataphracts have not deployed yet, so that's okay, that's fine, maybe, saving the spearmen to fight the Armenian heavy cav. That seems to be going well. The Nubian spears are fighting Slav warriors and archers now. These archers are like redeploying way too far back. What are you guys doing? What's going on? Alright, so the Nubians are running away now. That's good. That's going to cause a little bit of a morale problem with these archers here. Desert archers in the back. Archers. Yeah, the Egyptians have a lot of archers here. And they're going to need... The Byzantines are going to need their cataphracts to get involved at some point, I think, to in order to win this. But I don't have eyes on the other units of Armenian heavy cav. I just saw the one unit that was fighting Byzantine spearmen, and the other 2 units, I'm not aware of how well they're doing. Yeah, this unit has 4 men left. So there should still be 2 other units that are somewhere. This battle has sort of just evolved into an archer duel by this time, and it's really unfortunate though, because the cataphracts still have not engaged yet, and they could be very useful for getting rid of all of these Egyptian archers. Granted, the Byzantines do also have archers, but that's just in a really attritious, This is very sort of a attritional trade there, you know? Like, that's tough. It's very tempting to get involved here, but my mobility assets are so beat up. Like, it's just, you know, 4-man unit, 3-man unit, 6-man unit, 6-man unit. These are just horse archers, you know? And my 1-man Teutonic sergeant, like, they could do nothing. Sure, I could march my infantry over, but what are they going to do against archers? Just chase them? Yeah, it doesn't seem very effective. It's these cataphracts that need to get involved. And there still are more Egyptian forces that will be coming on. So it would have been nice to, you know, if the Byzantines still had some arrows left for those other Egyptian forces, but I'm not too sure about that anymore. I can see some Egyptian reinforcements coming on in the distance, and I'm mostly seeing peasants at this point. Some Saharan cav as well. And those cataphracts still have not gotten involved. And I'm still not seeing the Egyptian general show his face. I'm not seeing any square banners off in the distance here. By this point, it seems like the Egyptians have brought on their 3rd wave. And I'm seeing mostly camels in this wave, some Natha throwers in the rear. I'm a little worried that those camels could gang up on that cataphract that's the emperor, you know, and I don't know if the Byzantines have any, like, infantry left to engage those camels. They have 73 spearmen right there and 30 Byzantine infantry. Those could do well. Then on this side is basically archers and horse archers, but I think that they all are out of ammo. So if that infantry block of Slav warriors, urban militia, like right there, if that block right there fights the camels, they might perform well. I'm very tempted to march out of the forest. It's so hard for me to, like, stand by here because so much depends on this. But, you know, if I get caught out and just completely wiped, then my crusade's gonna really dissipate quickly over the next few turns. That is, even if we do get a victory here. A fog has descended over the battlefield as this fateful clash is happening, and I can barely really see what's happening here. Looks like the Byzantine forces. Yeah, the Egyptians have a lot of peasants for infantry, basically. Slav warriors are winning. So that means the Byzantines look like they might be winning, maybe? Saharan cav are losing, yeah. Yeah, the cataphract general is still hanging out, man. My goodness, it looks like the Byzantines did push off that 3rd wave. Wow. Wow, holy moly. Man, the Byzantine strength of arms just continues to hold strong here. I just realized something. So if I'm going to be withdrawing my forces, I think that they're going to be withdrawing automatically to this rear of the map. So that is some distance to cover. And I don't want to get cut off, you know, by the Byzantines. Clearly they're still fighting the Egyptians at this point, but, like, I should keep that in mind. That by the time the Egyptians are defeated, which, you know, that might be happening, it might be time for me to start to consider. Actually, it looks like the cataphracts might be getting involved at this point. But yeah, I might want to consider, you know, when is it going to be time for me to start to withdraw? Ooh, actually, I don't know. Are the Egyptians going to turn this around? Oh, it's hard to tell. The camels might be finally overwhelming the cataphracts still are not getting involved. I mean, okay, those Bedouin camels are losing badly. Peasants are fighting archers. It's urban militia, horse archers. Gosh, those cataphracts need to get involved. My goodness, like if not now, then when? There's still 26 Byzantine infantry. Man, oh man, that unit is really putting in work. Oh shoot, I just realized there's an Egyptian catapult right there. Oh. Well, let's send my cav to go run them down. So that my infantry does not just get bombarded as we move up here. Yeah, there's really not much there, but at least these cav units can run down that 10-man unit of catapults. Yeah, see, we're helping. We're trying to help out here. I mean, gosh, I could sort of hang out around the outskirts of the battle and shoot some arrows or something. I don't know. Oh, looks like is that the Egyptian general? No, it's not. Okay. Yeah, he's like just straight up hiding in the back of the map, isn't he? That's wild. Now that my cav has taken 10 years to kill that 10-man unit of a catapult crew, let's pitch in a little bit. I see some more Egyptian reinforcements coming on, and I think we have to do something. Like, I don't know. I don't think we can just stand by anymore. Let's do our best to keep the Egyptians in between myself and the Byzantines. But then let's go ahead and I don't know. I don't know what we can really do here. But as long as the Byzantines still hold a position here on this hill, it's your urban militia fighting. Yep, we killed some Gulan bodyguards up there. Peasants are fighting up against what? Peasants fighting up against some archers. Desert archers, more Saharan cav. God, those cataphracts, like, come on, guys. It's hard to watch. It's hard to watch them not get involved. Because they're such an impactful unit. So, yeah, let's see. Infantry, spear line. Let's come up here. And Saharan cav. So my second line is going to be like my militia sergeants, my urban militia, my Slav warriors, my javelins. I have one 23-man unit of archers. And then cav. Come up here. And then, yeah, general come up here as well. Where are my cav? Okay, they're back there. Yeah, Saharan cav. Let's see if those spearmen get in and fight them. That could go well. There's a couple units of naphthas that I can pick off. Yeah, spearmen are running away. Yeesh. Yeesh. Well, I mean, let's see. Maybe we can pounce on those Saharan cav units. They seem pretty disruptive right now. Let's see, urban militia and peasants coming on in. Bedouin camels are running down urban militia. Yeah, everything's running away for the Byzantines except for those horse archers and those cataphracts. That's just refuse to get involved. And I'm sure those horse archers are out of ammunition like a long time ago. So let's send my horse archers to like tie down these naphthas, even though they have like decent armor, and just seeing how like hard it was for my cav units to kill those catapult crewmen, I don't have high hopes for this, but we'll see. And yep, let's get you up, and then let's get you up as well. Are you guys able to do anything to them? I broke one of my horse archer units. Oh dear. Yeah, it says the naphthas are losing badly, but these guys are going to turn around and throw some grenades at us. If they have any ammo left. Oh, okay, here we go. Cataphracts are finally getting involved. They should destroy those Saharans. But, you know, can they destroy everything? Yeah, the Byzantine Emperor is the only one left in his army. It's just him versus a bunch of Egyptian peasants, which, you know, hey, that's something. Okay, so we did rout off that naphtha thrower. Hey, we're doing something here. We're helping. We're doing something. We're trying. Oh, this is so haggard. This is ridiculous. Archers come up. And yeah, we now have the most powerful force on the map. So that feels pretty good. I mean, there's a lot of Egyptian peasants coming on, but man, they're just peasants. You know, like the cataphracts could just straight up beat all of these peasants for sure. Urban militia, they're going to definitely take a chunk out of the cataphracts because they have bonus versus armor. But I don't know. Their stats are so bad. The defense stats and armor stats are so bad. For now, I actually don't mind just hanging out here and letting the Byzantine Emperor just do work right now because, again, I don't want to fight him, and whatever Egyptian stragglers come into my direction, I can pounce. I'm ready. Put me in, coach. But for now, yeah, I'll just let the Byzantine, like this guy, he can beat anything that's on the map right now. Some more peasants coming on in. Peasants. Like, yeah, I'll take the stuff that can really hurt them. You know, like the 63-man unit of Nubian spears. Like, yeah, I'll take them out. The 14-man unit of Bedouin camels. Like, sure, yeah, I'll take those guys out. Wait, what's happening? What's happening? Is he leaving? What? He's leaving? What? The Byzantines are going to retreat? Oh, shoot. Okay. Well, this is what we got. Let's see. Let's make sure that you are. Yeah, I just remembered that I had all of my guys off of fire at will, just because I didn't want them to get discovered when they were inside of their little forest. Let's see, let's target the urban militia, actually. They're more of a threat than the peasants, for sure. So yeah, let's target them. Let's get these militia sergeants up here. They can actually trade very well into those urban militia. I have to imagine they're pretty tired as well after fighting the Byzantine Emperor. Then as far as all these peasants, god damn, these Bedouin camels just came up. How do they catch my dudes? Alright, let's turn around these spearmen to fight up against these Bedouin camels. And now my archers are teeing off into those urban militia. Perfect. So yeah, let's get you up here. Yeah, that's too bad. Man, my guys must have been moving really slow because, yeah, those camels really came out of nowhere. Alright, yeah, we're mowing down those urban militia. That's fine. More peasants. Got some more urban militia coming on as well. And those Nubian spears are going to be tough. That's a good spear unit. You come up here and start taking shots, even though it's just a one-man unit of force archers. Shoot at those Bedouin camels. Alright, you come in here. And, oh, that's a javelin. Okay. You don't need to be on skirmish mode. Hold your formation. Yeah, hold your formation and come up here and that way throw some javelins at... actually, maybe save your javelins for the Nubian spears. Yeah, that could be a good thing to do. And, come on. You can start picking off those camels. They're huge. You can do it. There you go. You got one of them. Good job. All right. There we go. Let's see here. Let's go into them. And let's go into them. Let's go into them. Slav warriors help out against the peasants. And let's go into them. And spears go into those camels. And Teutonic sergeants go here. Let's try to get back if we can. Let's try not to get over enthusiastic here. Man, you guys are really going for it. Yeah, Jabaki, get back here so you can throw javelins at these Nubians. Yeah, let's go in here. And yeah, we're getting rid of those Bedouins. Let's see, that's fine. Teutonic Sergeant, get back up here, please. And Fearburn, get it back up here, please. Please go after them. Go after them. Yeah, collapse on the Nubians. The Nubians are going to be tough. Yeah, let's go there. And let's see, horse archer, you can keep picking off, let's see, Bedouins, peasants. Are you guys throwing your javelins in there? They are. I don't know how effective it is. Who are you guys fighting? Nothing? Alright, urban militia go after those peasants, and then spearmen, you turn around and wheel around here. Archers, what are you shooting? Okay. So urban militia should do okay against those peasants. Let's turn around my general and go into them. And what do they have up here? What happened up here? Saracen infantry. Okay, they got away from me. Man, these Nubians are still hanging in there. Dang, dang, dang. Alright, so those guys are all running away. Let's get these spearmen turned around. Alright, they're running away. Perfect. They're running away. Broke, broke, broke. Okay, so they're all breaking. So they have 38 Bedouins and 60 urban militia coming on in. Some more Bedouins in the rear. And alright, let's get my lines drawn up again. Here. 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 Man, this is this is a desperate stand. Okay, 60 urban militia. We can take that out if we gang up on it with all of our forces. Archers, start shooting into it, please and thank you. Or even better, shoot into these Nubians. It looks like they want to fight more. So let's get my general coming back. And urban militia, let's get you guys ready to fight these... Or, sorry, militia sergeants, get ready to fight those urban militia. And we're picking off those Nubians. And do you still have javelins left? You do. So just still javelins left in the Jabagis. Alright, let's charge into those Nubians. Like that. And urban militia, let's get you into... peasants, I guess, and Slavs go into the urban militia there. And let's get my general charging up. Archers shoot into the Bedouin camels. And are they breaking us on this side? Those Nubians are breaking us. Yeesh. Okay, man. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think it's happening. I think it's happening. But this might be it. Yeah, everyone's running away. My general's surrounded by camels. That's not a good place to be. Archers are shooting into the camels. Nope, they're running away. And that might be it. Yeah. Oh, man, that's tough. Dang, 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 dang. Oh, we had so little. We had so little left. Yeah, the Teutonic Sergeant's still fighting. He just got... Yep, he's dead. And, yeah, that's it. Man, the Byzantine general ran away with, like, what, 20 men left? Maybe a little less, like 19 or something. Jeez, oh, Pete's. Jeez, man. Oh, what a tough battle. So, I don't know. Is this crusade just, like, done for? It probably is. I may as well kill the 121 captured soldiers. And let's go ahead and end this battle. So, yeah, we killed 441 men. We lost 130. Woof. Okay, so what's happening now? Ransom demanded, 66 demanded for the 23 men captured. Yeah, sure. So we got some more economic upgrades that are finished up here. Keep is finished here in Scotland. Border forts finished here in Norway. Merchants finished in Northumbria. Shipwrights finished in Normandy. Watchtowers, merchant. Yeah, a lot of good economic upgrade buildings. And interesting. The Egyptian Sultan suggests that we end our unfortunate hostilities. Well, the thing is that I'm on crusade against you, so I don't think that I can do that. Yeah. And the Byzantine emperor rejected my proposal of an alliance? What? He said that he could see no advantage in an alliance at this time? What the hell is going on? Oh, okay, so magnificent builder, +2 to loyalty to all generals. Perfect. That's probably what we need just right now if that crusade actually did fail. And great builder. Yes, +1 loyalty. Good. Again, we need that. +2 loyalty for Lord Hastings. And a steward for Lord Hastings. So that's happiness and agricultural production. Chinless wonder for Sir Hubert Aidwolf. Yeah, that's not good. Minus acumen, minus command. That's a bad one. So is that crusade done? It's funny. So like we don't get a message saying that it's... Oh no, it's here. It's in Constantinople. Okay, so it was able to retreat to Constantinople and it has 137 men left. Hey, okay, so we're still going strong, guys. We still have a chance. And now that my emissary has like failed in, his 10-year mission of trying to get an alliance, the Byzantines, now we can start looking at, like, there's 3 peasants here in Anatolia. Can we bribe these guys and use this in to, like, hire a bunch of mercs here? Or even Lesser Armenia as well. There's a very small garrison there. So what would this cost? 24? No, wait, this cost 18,000? Wait, what? I'm reading this right? 18,000 for 3 units of peasants? Four, sorry. God, no, I'm just bribing this. I'm just bribing the 3 units. Wow. Holy smokes. Do you have like a trait? No, you don't have a trait. And yeah, okay, I wonder, so what's the cost for you then? 73,000? I guess that's loyalty and command or yeah, something. Man, I can't believe it's 18,000 for 3 units of peasants. Huh. What other options do I have? Armenia does not have an inn here. Odessa has an inn, but I have to imagine that's going to be a super expensive army. I'm just curious. Oh, nope, I did not mean to. An offer of 30,000. Jeez. Oh my goodness. That is wild. Well, I think that means that the strategy of trying to, bribe Egyptian armies and raise a mercenary army within their own empire, I think that sort of snuffs that out. And I think I'm back to square one in the sense that we're back to the idea of, hey, let's hang on with my 137 men for as long as possible to maintain my king's influence as long as I can and get my navies to continue to keep building up. We are getting there. We are making progress. My shipbuilding was a little bit interrupted. Not too much, but like I was spending a lot of money. Ooh, this is going to be nice. Getting into this sea region with these 4 ports. Ooh, that's going to be money. But I was able to still continue building ships as I was running out of money, but I wasn't building ships in every single province where I could have at the same time. But now that I have all of my economy buildings, like my 2nd tier merchant buildings, either being built or finished being built, as well as my farmland as well. I have a lot of my 40% farm upgrades built up as well. So that's going to give me a good boost to my economy. And that's going to allow me to really go full steam ahead with building up boats and without any more interruptions, I think is going to be the idea there. So it's not going to take too much longer, I think, to like bridge this gap. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sea regions, 7 more boats, and that's not going to take too much longer, I don't think. Well done. So I have achieved another homelands counting period. So I've gained 12 points from Homeland itself. Now, I wonder if that means I have finally, did I get some influence? Hey, there we go. I got some influence. Now, I could have swore that at some point in this campaign, I know I keep saying this, but I think that it does get, I think the influence does get added like per turn or per every other turn or something. Maybe it's just during like the early part, like the early period of the campaign that influence is a little bit harder to come by. But hey, okay, so that's good. We got 4 influence. We got a point of influence from that counting period. So that helps. That meaning that, hey, if we did take Livonia and, you know, maybe we can get him up to being a 5 influence by the time his son comes of age. Which is going to happen, when is that going to happen? So in 8 years, Prince John is going to come of age. So we have the port that's finished here in Ireland, so we can move these guys out to attack Livonia. We have the port finished in Norway. Yep, these mercenaries can move out as well. And then these mercenaries can move out from Aquitaine as well, and they can attack Livonia. So between those 3 forces, we should be able to take Livonia and raise up this king's influence. Now, we do have that. I still keep wondering, like, can I maybe find a way to get that Second Crusade sent out and completed and finished by the time his son comes of age so that we can get that influence boosted up even more so that his son can be somewhat decent. Now that we have this region, yeah, I'm making 3,800 now. That's very nice. That's all due to having the Ligurian Sea. Yeah, that's so nice. I am very tempted to continue this campaign right now. I really don't want this episode to end. I want to continue to build my boats. I feel like I'm so close. I'm just a few more sea regions until I can get there. And I continue to like have hope that maybe this crusade can actually make it. Like these 117 men, there won't be that many by the time these boats get there. But like, you know, this crusade could still actually succeed still, which is insane. It's insane. Yeah, we'd have to like get the boats to Antioch and then I can hire a bunch of mercenaries, which are there any available? There are. And yeah, that's a good handful of mercenaries that I can hire here in Flanders. Anything else? Apparently not, despite the fact that I have inns, like in all of my places. I can only hire them in Flanders. I wonder why. Like, is it just because this is where I border France and Germany and my other, like, why can't I have an inn down here in Aquitaine and I border Italy and Aragon? Like, why are there no mercenaries available? It's really weird. I don't really understand how that works, but yeah, so anyway, that's okay though. That's some mercenaries. I can go back to training up some Highland clansmen eventually. Maybe not quite yet. They're so cheap, man. That's so cheap. 22 support cost. Man, that's really nice. And what I need to start doing is I should, build a spearmaker, right? Because this allows me to build the swordsmith, and that is going to allow me to start training Celtic warriors here in Wales as well. And Ireland also needs to get on it. They need to, well, they need to build a fort, I guess. Okay. Is this going to, I don't know what the prerequisites are to train the Kerns and the Gallowglasses, but I need to look that up and find out what do I need, because those units are going to be very helpful for getting that crusade. In fact, actually, man, I could build a fort to train Vikings. I keep saying that I don't intend to hold Norway. Wait, actually, I can't remember. Are Vikings geographically locked or are they faction locked? I'm pretty sure that I can train the other like early Dane units, like Viking Carls and Viking Jarls. Is that one of them? The Carls are the... Shoot. I forgot my Viking units. The Carls are the swordsmen, and then there's the Viking... There's like an upgraded axe unit. Shoot. I'm forgetting what they're called. But I think that those are not faction locked. I think those are geographically locked. So in fact, actually, if I wanted to build up Norway, I could actually train Huskarls as well. That'd be really cool. Yeah, that'd be really neat, actually. I wasn't really intending to hang on to Norway, but I don't know. Now that I start thinking about those Viking units, they're only available in the early game though. You know, so like by the time I get built up to be able to train them, I would only have, I don't know. I think one of those units is available from a fort level. Maybe. Yeah, that's an idea. That's an idea. Just get some decent armor piercing troops on the field as well. Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind that idea one bit. But yeah, it's going to be fun once I do finally take Antioch. However, that is all going to have to wait until next time. Before I go, I just wanted to say that if you are enjoying these videos and you would like to support the channel, then consider subscribing, liking, and sharing. It all helps immensely. Until next time, this has been Conestip playing Medieval Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.